Welcome back to another episode of Mushoku Tensei Season 3. So first of all, this is a bit of a different setup. It's a scuffed setup. I know, it's a temporary one. We're gonna be here for about 2 to 3 weeks. Anyways, in the previous episode, we met Sarah and her party, right? We found out about some really cool stuff in the previous episode, but most importantly, the coolest thing was catching up with Sarah and hashing everything out between Sarah and Rudy, right? Everything that happened, they had a talk and just talked it out, and that's it. It took like 3 minutes for them to talk about the stuff that happened in the past and get over it, right? It wasn't a big deal. It seemed like the world was ending at the time, right, when everything happened, but then they met up here as adults, a lot older, a lot more mature than they were back then, and they just talked it out. They apologized, and that's that, right? So that was a great episode, just showing how mature they've both gotten. It kind of feels like, I said this in the previous episode as well, kind of feels like the entire a trial run for when Eris eventually shows up, right, for Rudy. And also one thing that I liked in the previous episode is how Rudy, I feel like there was a time during season 2 where he was always constantly being confronted with his mistakes, and he got really in the habit of talking to people and being really good at just talking things out and hashing things out and being very proactive in doing so. But I feel like because there was no need for him to do that for quite a while now that he's been like a married man, he's been enjoying life, so he didn't really have to go out of his comfort zone to talk to people about his past mistakes. So it feels like in the previous episode when he was confronted with that kind of thing, he was a bit more hesitant than he would normally be during like some parts of season 2. So I think that was an interesting thing to see, right? How it almost feels like he got a bit complacent with his family life, and because of that, he didn't feel as comfortable stepping out of his comfort zone to talk about his past mistakes with people. I don't know if I'm reading too much into it, but that's how it felt to me, right? So that was cool. Either way though, I'm excited to see what's gonna be up next. Every single episode has been fantastic, so let's find out. So if you wanna watch this, Uncut and Unblurred, as always, on Patreon on description, and let's go into Mushoku Tensei Season 3, Episode 7. Oh! They got certified. Congrats! That's a big moment. They actually graduated. Ha, take that, man god. They're not going to be a blight on Rudy's life anymore. Or anymore. He predicted some ominous stuff with them. So take that, man god. Hey. The diplomas, the certifications. This calls for a celebration. God, I love this song. I wonder who else from our friend group got certified, finished their studies. They have been loyal. That's definitely what they have been. Aww. Yeah, man god, take that. You were wrong. You were wrong, man god. You phony. Surely he was wrong. Nanahoshi, it's been a while. Oh, interesting. It feels like it's been a long time since we last saw it. Oh. Wow, look at this. Oh. We can get potatoes? Uh-oh. 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 Pause. Seize. I have a bad feeling about this. Oh no, I have a bad feeling about this. No, please. Please, we're so close to proving wrong. The man got wrong. Fuck. What's up? Yeah, I remember that. Yep. Yeah, I guess so. I guess you're not wrong. Yep, I remember that. Yep. Oh, I hope so. Please, let that be it. They're fighting. Okay. Wow. That's what I was thinking as well. They're not from the same clan. Yeah. Okay. You do? Yeah, I mean, sounds fine. Yeah, seems fine. I'm excited. That's very pedantic. Okay. Huh? What's she doing? Wait, what? We're trash talking? We're trash. This is the fight? Oh. Low blow. Oh! Too far. Too far. Ow. He's having fun with this. Yeah. That's it. I love that. What? What are you going for? And show that on TV, he said. You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? I went out with some friends recently and we were doing like air hockey. And this was exactly what happened. Whenever a match was going on, because there were 3 of us, whenever 2 of my friends were doing it, I was doing the air hockey, I would go full commentator mode like Rudy as well. It was so fun. That's like one of the most fun things ever. You just go like full like wrestling commentator-esque, right? Whenever like a hype match is happening, it's one of the most hype things ever. You just pop off like that. That's me. I get you, Rudy. I get you. You set the mood so well. Oh. Oh. sorry, Nanahoshi, from me as well. Didn't mean it like that. That was a long fight. Did Pursana win? She did. Yeah! It's the battle scar. Yeah. Mmm. Wow. This is gonna be their last meeting, huh? Yeah, I think so. It is. It is. I respect it. Aww, cover it up. Yeah, that was hype. That was hype. It's fine. You were a hype man. Yep. Zanoba. Wow, that was long overdue, huh? He's grown a lot as well. Zanoba. Business? You can say that again. No, absolutely not. Oh no.
まあ、なんだ。なんか困ったら、俺を頼ってもいいからな。
世も力を貸しましょう。
あっちが成功したら金でも貸してやるにゃ。
Oh no. That's not gonna end well.
以後会わないつもりなのだろうか。あれほど仲が良かったのに。でもそうした生き様に少しかっこいいと感じてしまう俺であった。
It is.
後日、乗り合い馬車で言い争いをしている包帯だらけの従属の女2人を見たという噂が耳に入ってきた。
They cannot stay apart.
理由がつかめず鉢合わせしてしまったのだろう。知らないことだ。
Fate does not want them to be apart. Of course. Cute though.
では始めてちょうだい。
Oh!
魔力注入を開始します。
He's going to be a plant? A hamster?
何すごい消費量だ。俺以外だと誰も使えないんじゃないだろうか。時間がかかるな。その辺も改良した方が。
Potatoes. Oh, what the hell?
この光り方は見たことがある。転移事件の直前。
Oh, good
光
point.
が出ていた。
Good point.
やめるか。また転移が起こったらみんなが。いや、そうならないように。
Yeah, sunk cost fallacy.
来たのだ。いける。
Yep,
大丈夫
the sunk cost fallacy. What in arcane is that? Watermelon! Watermelon? What?
成功だ。
Suika.
おめでとうございます師匠。
やったな。それにしても、まがまがしい模様だな。持ってみても大丈夫か。
でも落としたりしないように。案外割れやすいから。
なあ、
That's
その
huge.
スイカはあっちの世界のものだよな。こっちの世界にはないだろうし。
多分ね。だいたいまだ具体的に対象物を選べないわ。今回だってキャベツを。
So she can actually designate a bit of a target, huh?
この世界にもキャベツに似た野菜はある。しかし、あっちの世界とで見分けがつくのだろうか。 野菜を召喚するという計画は最初から欠陥があったのではないだろうか。
後で振る舞ってあげるから楽しみにしてて。
What are watermelons classified as? I feel like watermelons are classified as like, I feel like it's one of those weird ones where it's like you're gonna read about a watermelon on trivia and it's gonna be like watermelons are actually berries or something along those lines. They're not fruit. Or it's like watermelons are actually I don't know, a species of pumpkin or something, and it's actually a vegetable. I feel like it could be one of those things, you know, like with the tomato and stuff.
いや、大丈夫だ。野菜を召喚しようとしてスイカが出たならば成功と言っても過言ではないはずだ。成功なら今晩は祝いましょうぞ。
ああ、そうだな。
乾杯。
They wouldn't have a word in their language for a watermelon, right?
宴会をするのがいつの間にか恒例となっていた。だが、リニアとプルセナはもういない。その代わり、ロキシーとノルンが参加している。バーディーガーディもいないので、盛り上げ役を書いてはいるが、変わらない空気がここには流れていると思う。とはいえ、あんな明るい七星は。
True.
はい、どうぞルディ。
ありがとう。シルフィーは飲まないの？
僕、お酒飲んだら変になっちゃうから、ちょっと控え
That would be cute to see.
そっか。
今日は泊まりじゃないからね。ちゃんとルーシーにお休みなさいするんだからね。
わかってるよ。
酔っ払ったシルフィー、可愛いんだけどな。
For not spending the night.
ちょっと椅子を引いてください。
ロキシー、酔ってる。
少し。僕も後でしてほしいな。
もちろんだよ。
なんだったら、左膝にロキシー、右膝にシルフィーという。
I know you wouldn't mind it.
兄さん。
I definitely. The stare.
いえ、大丈夫です。少し
Also, I really like, it's a small thing, I really like that moment where Sylphie was like, we're not gonna be drinking too much, we're not gonna be sleeping over here, we need to go back home and tuck Norn in and stuff. That's such a realistic thing to say. I feel like I've heard my parents talk about that so many times when I was a kid, right? Or even when I have younger siblings, when they were talking about younger siblings being like, we're not gonna drink too much, so we're not gonna sleep there because, you know, the younger siblings with us, so we need to get them back home to go sleep and stuff like that. I feel like it's such a realistic parent thing to say.
いいですか？
おう、なんだい？
はい。生徒会のことなんですけど。
そのことか。
そういえばそういえばノ
Oh,
ルンは生徒会といたんだよな。
thought she'd be good at
先輩に誘
yep,
われ
she'd
た
be
んで
good
す。
at student council.
成績は決して優秀ではないけど、人を
She's
引き
very
つける力
responsible.
があるから、生徒会
Mm,
にどうかって。
なるほど。
確かにノルンは学園にファンが多いと聞くが、
シルフィは知ってたの
wow.
か？
うん、一応。
知っていたらしい。もしかするとロクシーも。知らぬは俺だけとは、なんてこったい。
ごめんね。ノルンちゃんの口から聞い
That's
てもらお
cute.
うと思って。
そっか。
兄さん、生徒会に正式に
That's
入っても
cute.
いいでしょうか？
もちろん。
いや、ノルンは現在、剣術と本の執筆をしている。そこに生徒会の仕事が入ってやっていけるのだろうか。
ノルン、
はい。
生徒会に入ることを反対するわけじゃないけど、そんなにたくさんのことできるのか？勉強だって3年生からは難しくなるはずだし。
本の執筆も剣術も勉強も頑張ります。
口で言うのは簡単だ。しかし、
You know what this reminds me of? Oh, sorry, I know I'm pausing a lot, but this is really cool because it reminds me of the Paul conversation that Rudy, like from Rudy's childhood, when Paul and Zenith were talking about Rudy practicing sword fighting, right? And Paul was like, we agreed that he's gonna be a sword, you know, he's gonna practice a sword if he's gonna be a boy, and he would be like, if it was a girl, she would be practicing magic and stuff. And then they had to come to a, you know, a bit of a a bit of a compromise on how it's gonna work, thanks to Lilia. But I feel like how Rudy, this feels like a similar situation, but Rudy is kind of like adapting it a bit, learning from it, and trying to find a bit more of a compromise without Lilia being there to come up with it for him, right?
ノルンちゃん、
It reminds me of the
今の頃は
situation
ちゃん
though.
とやれてるよ。生徒会の手伝い自体は1年以上前からだし。
Wow.
なら、俺が剣術を教え始めるより前からやっているのか？
大丈夫だよ、ルディ。
She will.
保証する。
I have full
そうか。
confidence in her.
できるかどうかじゃなくて、できてから言ってきたのか。それじゃあ、反対できないな。
ノルンも頑張ってたんだな。もともと俺が許可を出すもんじゃないと思うけど、許可するよ。
ありがとうございます。注目。スイカを切りましょう。
結局は、本人の頑張り次第だ。
I wonder if she just has Suika in Japanese because they don't have a word in it for it,
頑張ってい
probably.
るから結果が出ている。リニアとプルセナもそうだ。でも、その頑張りを応援するのは周囲の義務だと思う。俺だって、周りの人に応援されているから義務があるん
Seedless.
だ。だから俺も、みんなをいくらでも応援してやろう。
Wow.
お疲れ様。
She's back to her old self.
解毒かけてやろうか？
さっきシルフィーにかけてもらったからひとまず大丈夫。ともあれ、今回も助かったわ。ようやくこれで次の段階に進める。
第4段階は召喚物の詳細を指定するって話だったか。
そう。それについて詳しい人がいるから聞きに行くつもりよ。
例の召喚術の権威というやつか。
まさか、オルステッドじゃない
No, there's no way.
違うわ。
Yeah, there's no way. She can just ask him, Yo, Ursted.
ちょっと提案なんだけど、前の実験のお礼ができてないでしょ？
おう、そういえば忙しくて保留に。
Oh,
今
yeah.
回のと合わせて、その魔術師を
Wow.
新たに召喚する
Yes, 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 please.
召喚
Networking.
でも2回分のお礼になるようなすごい人物なのか？
ええ。もしかすると、あなたのお母さんの記憶喪失もなんとかなるかもしれないわ。
Don't get his hopes up.
本当か？
Don't get his hopes
わ
up.
からないけど、何せ長生きしてるから知ってる可能性も高いわ。
Maybe a demon?
テニスは
A long-living
順調に回
species?
復はしていると思うが、記憶に関してはいまいち治るかどうか分かりにくい。治らないにしても、病名や似た症例について聞けるのなら、少しは良くなるかもしれない。
今教えてくれたってことは、すぐに紹介できない理由があったんだ。
Yeah.
ええ、悪いけどこっちにも都合があるのよ。
七星殿の師匠の話であるか。
紹介してくれるというのなら、ぜひ僕も。
Look at those two.
まあ、あなた
Those
た
two
ち
seem
も
closer than
話
ever.
別にいいけど。僕も少し興味あるな。
Wow.
あんまり大勢で押しかけたら迷惑じゃないか。
それは大丈夫よ。12人までは問題ないって言ってたし。
Hmm.
会うとなると時間もかかるだろ。
会おうと思えば1日で会えるわ。
近所なんだな。実はたまに会ったりしてたのか。
近所ではないし会ってもいない
Okay.
けど、会う方法はあるのよ。
なるほど。それで、なんて名前の人なんだ？
他言しないでほしいんだけど、いい？
It's going to be someone that we know.
交流王ペルギウス。
Oh! Betelgeuse!
交流王ペルギウス。
One of the people who defeated
これ
Laplas.
は400年前、ラプラス戦役において、人族を勝利に導いた。
Oh!
昔の三英雄の名だった。
No, what do you mean phase 4? What do you mean phase 4? Are we in Marvel? What is this? Quickly. Ooh, yeah, boy, caught it. Caught it before I could get spoiled on the title. Let's go. It's a minigame. Okay. Dude, Pergus. Okay, so it's been a hot minute since we last heard that name, right? Thinking back to Turning Point 1? Have we seen him since then? Wait, was it Turning Point 1? Episode like 7 or something, or 8, or something, somewhere along that line, where we saw, was his name Armati? Armati? Something along those lines. I don't have my notes with me. My notes are back in my old setup, so I don't have my notes with me, but we saw the guy with the mask come down, and he was one of the Pergus' guys, right? During the Mana Cataclysm. Have we seen him since then? I don't remember. I don't think so. But yeah, one of the 3 heroes of the Great War with the Demon King or the Demon God Laplas, right? That is crazy. So she knows him. That's interesting. And they called him her master in magic in a way. Wow. Dude, say what you will about Nanahoshi and her, you know, drive to go back home, but she has met some incredible people during her time here, during the short time that she was here, ever since getting here from the Mana Cataclysm. Now, if you think about it, she probably met him when she first got into this world, I would guess. I would guess that he's probably one of the first people. Maybe she got summoned into his... No. I was gonna say, maybe she got summoned into his floating castle thingy, right? The reason why I stopped like that is because I was thinking, what if he summoned her? Because it basically almost happened on top of their floating castle, but no, that wouldn't make sense because of the reaction that he had to the entire Mana Cataclysm, right? Unless Pergus was trying out some kind of like summoning magic that he didn't know much about, he didn't know what's going to happen to it, so he didn't maybe know that the Mana Cataclysm was a side effect of the summoning magic of summoning Nanahoshi, and truth be told, it isn't fully 100% confirmed that it's... I mean, no, it basically is. It basically is. I mean, it hasn't been explicitly said that they are intrinsically one-to-one linked, but I mean, they have to be, because we saw it with even with the watermelon here, how, you know, a mini version of the Mana Cataclysm appeared there for like a brief few seconds. So it's basically confirmed, right, that her summoning is basically the entire reason why the Mana Cataclysm happened, and they even talked about it a bit in Season 2, but they didn't fully confirm it. They were like, it's a hypothesis in a way, right? So, but I don't think Pergus is the one who summoned her. I think she met him during, when she got first summoned there, though. I do think that makes sense, because he was there, right there in the center, basically, of the Mana Cataclysm, Pergus, right? So, yeah, that would make sense. She met him there. She went off, met Orsted, which is kind of insane. That is insane, the contact that she got, right? But yeah, interesting. Interesting. So we're gonna be meeting him. I thought the way that they were building up the entire scene, I thought it was gonna be one of those things where it's like some kind of like goofy scene of like, yo, we're gonna meet this person, don't freak out. Their name is actually, and it's gonna be like one of the people that we know. It's like Geese. Their name is actually Geese. Or it's gonna be like one of the Doldia tribe girls or something along those lines, you know, someone who we are very familiar with, and it's gonna be like one of those things, like does she know, you know? How do we tell her? How do we tell her that we already know them? But no, it was actually Pergus. It was actually insane. Wow. Okay, that's gonna be hype. That's gonna be really, really, really hype. I am very excited for that. I really love the magic system of the entire world, and I feel like we're gonna be getting to know more about the Mana Cataclysm once we meet him as well. Also, he said he can meet up to 12 people. That's an interesting detail, because was it... Shoot. I don't remember enough. You're gonna have to let me know. You're gonna have to fill me in. Am I hallucinating this or conflating it with something else? Or did Pergus have like 12 people there, 12 guards or whatever, 12 paladins or something along those lines? Or am I conflating it with something else? Did they mention that? I don't know, because it's interesting that he said he can handle up to 12 people. What does that mean? That's so specific, isn't it? I guess you have to have a limit. You're like, yeah, you can bring a few, and then how many can I bring? He can be like, oh, fuck it, like 12. Maybe he said it like that, you know? Maybe you have to have a limit. You're like, 13 sounds a bit much. I can probably handle 12. So maybe that's it. But I feel like that's a peculiar, it's a very peculiar detail to point out, right? 12 people. Very, very oddly specific. We'll see. That was hype though. That was hype, them summoning a watermelon as well. Yeah, as I said, I feel like they had to have either invented a new word for it, or they're using the Japanese word suika for, you know, the watermelon, because it doesn't exist in that world, right? In this world, as far as they know. So they had to have invented a new word, basically, at least to the people who don't know what a watermelon is. That's cool. You know, they can call it whatever they want, basically. That's cool. But yeah, anyways, that was a fantastic episode here. Really, really good one. I have a feeling the next one's gonna be even more of a banger with meeting Pergus. If that's even going to happen in the next episode, maybe they're gonna blue ball us for a bit longer, but we'll see. For now, I'm gonna end it here. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.